Hello and welcome back to Jules Smart Tools. This is part 3 in our session on percentage increase, and in our session today we are calculating what is the percentage increase. So let's get started. Our question today says that the fee for balloon decorations at a party increased from $180 to $225. What is the percentage increase on the party fee? Now, to calculate a percentage increase, that means we're going to be calculating our actual increase divided by the original price, and then we're multiplying that to 100%. So before we begin calculating, the first thing we need to find out is what is the actual increase. And to find our actual increase, we're taking the cost at $225, which is the amount that it increased to, and we're going to subtract the original price of $180 from that total. So 5 subtract 0 will leave us with 5. 2 can subtract 8, we'll borrow from 2, making it 1, and 12 subtract 8 is 4. And so our increase on our price was $45. So you have $45 over the original price of $180, and that is being multiplied to our percentage, which is 100. And remember that you can put your percentage over 1 if that makes it more comfortable for you when it comes to multiplying. Now I'm going to reduce my fraction, and since both 100 and 180 can both be divided by 20, I'm going to divide both of these numbers by 20. So 100 when divided by 20 is equal to 5. 180 when divided by 20 is equal to 9. So we now have our $45 over 9 being multiplied to our 5% over 1. And again, I can reduce my 9 and 45 since I know that 9 times 5 is equal to 45. That means when I divide 9 into 9, I will get 1. And when I divide 45 by 9, it's going to equal to 5. So we now have our $5 being multiplied to 5%, which will equal to 25%. So my percentage increase on my balloon decoration fee is 25%. Let's try another example. Feel free at this point to pause the video, calculate your percentage increase, and then when you're ready, you can unpause the video and work along with me to see if we got the exact same answer. So our question reads, the price of a grill increased from $6,400 to $6,800. What is the percentage increase on the grill? So again, we're looking back at our formula. We need to begin by first calculating our actual increase, and that's taking the price that it increased to, which is our $6,800. And we're minusing our $6,400, which will equal to an increase of $400. So I'm going to have my $400 over the original price of $6,400, and that will be multiplied to my 100%. And again, I'm going to write that over 1. So I'm going to be dividing my 400 by 400, and I'll divide my 6,400 also by 400, and 400 divides into itself once, and 6,400 when divided by 400 is 16. Now I got the 16 remembering that this is my 4-time table, and remember that 16 times 4 is equal to 64, which means that if I was to multiply 1600 So that means that I can apply that knowledge and then use the 400 to divide into my 64, which would also give me 16. So I know the numbers seem a bit big, but remember that our multiplication is still our multiplication no matter how many zeros are added on to the end of these numbers. If I know that 4 times 16 is 64, then that means that 400 divides into 64 is still going to be 16. It's still the same numbers, it's just zeros added on the end. So when you see these type of numbers, try not to get freaked out by just looking at the number. But remember that your multiplication timetable is still your multiplication timetable. So the same steps will still be applied to reduce your fractions. Okay, so we now have 1/16 being multiplied to our 100% all over 1. And 100 times 1 is 100%, which will equal to our 16. And I'm now going to perform my long division, dividing my 16 into my 100. 16 can't divide into 1, so that'll be 0. 16 can't divide into 10, so that'll be 0. And so 16 goes into 100 6 times, and 16 times 6 will equal to 96. And 100 subtract 96 leaves us with a difference of 4. And again, I'll just take it to 1 digit behind my decimal point, change my 4 into 40, and 16 goes into 40 twice, and 2 times 16 is equal to 32. And when 40 subtracts 32, it's equal to 8. And again, if you want to divide all the way out, that is still fine, because we know that 80 is in the 16 timetable, and 5 times 16 is going to give us our 80, and 80 subtract 80 will equal to 0. So my percentage increase on my grill is 6.25%. Okay, so there you have it. We just calculated our percentage increase on our grill and on our first item. Remember that with calculating your percentage increase, you have to begin by first calculating the difference between the actual price and the price that it increased to. And once you have done that, you can begin your calculations. And remember that if you can't simplify, you can still multiply the numbers out and perform your division afterwards. But remember that practice is the best way to go. Remember to develop your math skills so that you can become better, and these types of questions will eventually get easier. And until next time, this is Jules Math Tools, where math is made easy.